All right, guys, top of the morning. Happy June 6th, coming to you alive, coming to you fresh. And yes, once again, your boy got up at 4 a.m. this morning because my very first call today was at 5 a.m. So I have to be caffeinated. I have to have my water. I have to be present. I have to write. I have to be in the moment. And I'll tell you what, you guys, that stillness when the house is absolutely silent, when people think, why are you so crazy to get up? Because I have what I believe to be run through the wall type of energy right now. I believe that I am truly on a purpose, on a cause, on a crusade, and on a mission to help our team, help other people, and to help myself. And so you guys, I'm willing to get up a little bit earlier. That means I got to go to sleep a little bit earlier the night before. But if you are relentless about results, if you are relentless about success, then you will simply find a way. And if that means waking your ass up earlier, getting your ass into gear, then by all means, do whatever you need to do, because success is there for those that truly, truly want it. And I want it, and I can taste it, and I'm in the pocket, and nothing will stand in my way. So I'm excited, I'm stoked, I'm eager to get started this morning. So I'm gonna go over to Cece, and Cece, love the hair, what's going on today with all the curls and all the body, okay? I'm gonna have you bring us out on the field on this amazing, amazing Friday morning. You shared a video earlier, which I don't know that guy's name. You talked about self-image and how our income is a direct reflection of our self-image. And that's a guy I follow. That's a guy that I watch his stuff all the time. I'm a student of him. I just can't recall the name off the top of my tongue. Anyways, made me think of you. And so I wanted to turn the mic over to you and have you bring us out on the field on this amazing Friday morning. Let's roll.
Yes, I really like him. I think his name is DG. He was a Harlem Globetrotter, I believe, some kind of NBA player or something like that. And he has his own program. Okay, so yesterday I went to the EXP rally, the NorCal rally, and one really good takeaway, which I've heard before, but it hit a little different yesterday, was about what you resist, persist. And so addressing whatever that is that's holding you back from all the things you just said about being consistent, what you posted about taking control of the things that you can control. Otherwise, the things will continue to exist in your life, and it's just this hamster wheel that you can't get off of. So that's what I woke up this morning and did. I was up at 4:50, got up. I was so excited. I was so tired. I'm still tired. But I did it, and I did my hot yoga. And so the speaker was really good. I think people know her husband passed away, and they had the funeral at the Oakland A's, the
Yeah,
Coliseum.
Rick,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, she started crying and everything. It was really heartfelt. So it was just a really good message, really encouraging. So
Well, good. Well, good. Well, I appreciate you being there. I appreciate you being here, being present, being in this moment. And so, you guys, let's get rolling. I have some things I want to share with you guys, and then we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We are small and mighty today, so I think it would be a really, really great opportunity for us to do this. But I want to share something I saw the other day, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen, and let me do present mode, and let me read this out loud to everybody. And so the quote is very, very simple, but let me read it out to everybody out loud so we can all stay here, but I'll wait until it is actually showing on my screen. Cece, when it shows up on the screen, give me a thumbs up. All right, cool. I think we're there.
okay.
All right, cool. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm better than I was yesterday. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison will keep you stuck and rob you of your energy. The real competition is the individual that you see when you look in the mirror. If you must compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. The goal is not perfection, it's 1% improvement. Wake up, be better, and do better. This stood out to me, you guys. And when it said the real competition isn't the other realtors, it isn't people that are doing what you believe is more production. It's just simply the man or the woman in the mirror. So I wanted to share that with you because I thought it was really, really powerful. Would love to get anybody's thoughts, contribution, insight on that quote, on those paragraphs. Anybody have anything that they want to share, contribute, or give to the cause while we get this thing started? Anybody have anything? Going once, going twice. All right, H-Bomb, let's roll. What do you got for us? And then we'll go Hugo.
Gotta give me a second. I'm in my car, so there we go. I think we often do that. We see a lot of people online that are just so polished and streamlined and things like that. And I have had a habit of doing that in the past, but I try not to do it because I think because of doing that, at that point when your brain goes to that area, you have to be like, no, no, because you know what? I've got so much to be thankful for, and I'm me, and you've got your own things about yourself that set you apart from them. And you never know, because everything that you see on social media, whether it's realtors or other people, everybody puts their best selves on social media. It's always what they want people to see. And you have to be like, you got to be thankful for what you have, because you never know what these people, you could possibly have a ton of things in your life that these people are probably like, man, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I wish I had what you had. Everybody's different. And we have to just be truly thankful for what we have and where we are. And yeah.
I love
So
that.
yeah, maybe that was a little off, but
No, it's all good. It's all good.
that's
Listen, we're all going to interpret the information in our own certain ways. And so I appreciate your contribution always at a high level. Hugo, what do you got for us, big dog?
What's up, guys? Can you guys hear me good? Okay, look,
Loud
sounds
and
fantastic.
clear, bro. Your mic is actually pretty dope, bro. Whatever you're
Oh,
using, it's very, very clear. So let's roll.
AirPods. But yeah, I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this yesterday. She has a very close friend that, kind of goes through, not kind of goes through it, but she's always constantly comparing herself and, she's sharing those thoughts with my girlfriend. And I was telling her about that part in what's the name of the book? Psycho-Cybernetics, where it talks
Yeah.
about inferiority, right? And when you're inferior, you're always if you're in that mindset, you're always trying to find, superiority over other people. And I was telling her that in the book, it was saying that it starts with, in order to remove that mindset, it starts with, accepting that you're unique and that everybody's unique. Everybody's uncommon. We all have unique experiences. Nobody's alike. No fingerprint is alike. I think they said in the last meeting too. I don't know if it was Demian who said there's no snowflake that's identical. So that's where it starts. That's where you spread your roots in accepting that everybody's unique. Everybody has unique experiences, and there's no point in comparing yourself with somebody else. You're just gonna, like it says in this quote, you're just gonna get stuck. So
Yeah.
those are my thoughts.
Yeah, that's a really cool way to look at it. And I'm really happy to hear that you're having that type of conversation with your significant, because I think that we are in the realm of human development, right? We talk about the mind, we talk about psychology quite a bit. Well, depending on what line of work they're in, they're not typically having these conversations. No, not at a frequency that we have it. And so oftentimes we're getting all this information and we don't want to sound like a coach to our significant others, but there is things that we hear them say that maybe we have battled through or gotten over in these or read the book. I have Psycho-Cybernetics right in front of us. And so it's important that we're having those types of conversations, and it makes us closer. And my wife and I do that all the time. And then sometimes she'll go back and watch a recording and she's like, oh, you said this here. What did that mean? And we'll just have a conversation about it. So Hugo, really good stuff, my man. Let's go. Otis, what do you got for us, big dog? And then we'll shift gears after Otis's contribution. Let's roll.
To tie it in with, life and real estate. I think we all get a little overzealous. We see something, it sparks a little something in us. But I think it defines your character and how you react to it. So, I mean, with real estate, we see people go on the board every Tuesday, knowing that you're not on there, maybe not be on there anytime soon. Gets in your head, pocket watching gets in your head. You see people in your life that want the life that you have. I mean, you want the life that they have. So, getting over those fears by just implementing your own work and implementing in your brain that what works for Elias doesn't work for Otis. What works for Kelly doesn't work for Cecilia. So at the end of the day, we're all unique. Like Hugo was saying, Demian was saying, I literally was just telling somebody that the other day. No one has your fingerprints. No one. That's how unique we are as human beings, right? So at the end of the day, make your own movie. Don't try to attach yourself to your favorite movie, putting yourself as that character that you wish you can be. You can be that character. It's going to take work. It's going to take you to change, make some sacrifices. But at the end of the day, you have the destiny, you have the power to change your own destiny and write your own story. So don't care what people is. Don't care what people are doing. I myself have been guilty of that a lot of my life. But once you get past that, it's like they call it tunnel vision. When you get that tunnel vision, you can see your life. You just got to put the work in, just like we do every day. for real estate. So
That's
just
right. That's right, my man. I appreciate it. And like the quote says, the real competition, the individual you see when you look in the mirror, right? Are you really proud of that self? And I'm sure you are, and you should be. Then if you must compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Look at all the things that you've been able to accomplish in your life, your business, your health and relationships, and give yourself a pat on the back because you deserve it. You deserve it. So guys, let's do this. I'm going to do something a little bit different this week because by this point, each of us should be very clear on the amount of activities, the pillars, the production that we're going to have from now to the end of the year. And listen, if you're on this call and you don't have a general understanding of how many conversations you need to have from now until the end of the year, you're missing the opportunity. What it is, it's very simple, and let's recap on this. This is Savage season. So you need to take your production goal, say it's 8, 5, 10, I don't care what it is, and divide that by 60. That means the conversations that you need to have from now until the end of the year. And then you take that number, whatever it is, and you divide it by the amount of weeks that you're going to work. Let's say it's 23, 26, whatever. We'll give you your weekly target. So now that you have your weekly target, say it's 23, 20, 15, I don't care what it is. Now you divide that by the days that you're going to work. Well, what I want to do right now is I want each of you guys to work in a small accountability group, and we're going to spend about 15 minutes here. Now, what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to set a goal for that little group from now until next Friday. And it's very, very simple. You guys are going to have a communication, be like, all right, cool, I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to call this amount of people. I'm going to knock on this amount of doors. Whatever your group has come up with, then that's your game plan. I'm not here to give you that game plan. What I want you guys to do is within your individual group, come up with your game plan. And then I want that to be your accountability homies for the week. I want you guys to, go offline, follow each other on social media, get into a group chat on social or, text message and be like, yo, this is what we're doing this week, right? So this is like our mini week of intensity. All I want you guys to do is to be very, very clear. If you have to hit 23 conversations for the week, how are we going to do it? What are you going to do? And what's standing in your way? And make sure that you lean to your group. So all I want you guys to do is work in your accountability group and say, this is what I'm committed to from now until next week. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to apply pressure in these different pillars and speak some truth into it. And then we're going to come back into the main room here and we're going to talk about what you guys came up with. And listen, everyone has a voice, everyone has a contribution. And if you're on this call right now and you don't have any idea of what to do, well, then make that your time to say, you know what, I'm going to at least do this. I'm going to at least knock on X amount of doors. I'm going to at least drop some social media content. Because if you're not in fires, if you're not putting out fires, if you're not in contract, if you don't have multiple things going on from a transactional side, then the only thing that you should be focused on is on lead generation. That's it. There's no perfect answer. You don't have to have all of the answers. All you got to do is go out there and have conversations with people that are thinking about buying or selling, or at least planting those seeds. So here's the flow. Get into your accountability group. You guys are all going to come up with your individual 1 week plan. That's it, just 1 week. I don't care about the rest of the year. I want 1 week plan. You guys are going to talk about it. You guys are going to declare it. And then we're going to come back in the room and you guys are going to talk about your plans for this 1 week action. Make sense? Make sense, everybody? All right, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break these rooms up. Now, everyone get involved. Everyone has a voice. Everyone has a contribution. Everyone has thoughts. Let me see if I break this into 4. Perfect. I'm going to break this into 4 groups. I'm going to go and send you there now. We're going to come back to this room. Let's actually give it a little bit more time. We'll come back into this room right around 8:03. So let's go. Everyone contribute. Talk about your plan, what you're declaring, and then we're going to come back in the room. We're going to make sure that there's some accountability from now until next week based on what's important to you, not what's important to me. So on 3, 2, 1, we're going to all go to our rooms, have some fun, and we'll come back here in just a few minutes. All right, guys, we're going to get back in the main room right now. I'm letting everybody in. All right, so here's the flow. I want to know what you personally, are committing to for this next week. Tell me a little bit about your group afterwards, but the people I call on, I want you first, And then talk to me about your group, because at the end of the day, you guys, we need to run our business in a sprint, meaning that week by week, I could look back at it and be like, cool, how many conversations did I have? What pillar really produced results for me? What's a pillar that I need to focus on more? And did I actually book an appointment and have the conversations that I need to have in order to hit my yearly, monthly, annually, quarterly target? So it's very simple, you guys. Just want to know what you were declaring from now until next week. Cortez, you're up first, big dog. Jamie, you're up second. So Cortez, tell me about your specific goals for the week.
So my specific goals is actually me and Michelle are doing intensity with ourselves. We're gonna do the metrics and just do it ourselves. So everything that's on those metrics, the 100 doors knocked, the calls, the whole thing, that was already in the work. So I just told the group that's what I'm doing. So that's where I'm at. So if you don't know,
My man.
that's what we're doing.
Dude, I appreciate that, because intensity is not easy. Intensity is meant to kick you in the teeth, bro. So I absolutely love this. So Cortez, what were some things you heard within your group? Some targets that they need to hit, some specifics. Let's hear representation for the group.
The group definitely 100 doors knocked. That's one of them. 50 to 100 calls. We didn't commit on open houses. Some will, some won't. I'm not doing open houses. I'm gonna be out showing this weekend, and I know Chris said he went 6 weeks straight, and he got kids graduating and 18th birthday parties. But 100 doors knocked will happen for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then how can you guys best support each other for this next week? And I don't know if Ashley's camera is frozen, but this is the picture I was able to grab. So this will be going on social later. But anyways, how can you guys all help each other during this next week?
So we all, I mean, most of us are social media friends already, but we're gonna keep in touch on social media and just hold each other accountable like that.
Yeah, I think it's important that we all have, you know, our group, our people that are going to just, hey, give you that check-in, give you a kick in the ass when needed. I think it's super important. So good stuff, Cortez. Love this. Let's go over to Jamie. Jamie, share with us, declare with us, what are you going to commit to from now until next Friday? What is the target? What are you willing to commit to? Let's roll.
Okay. I'm committed to doing 50 door knocks, because I was just telling the team that if I say 200, I'm gonna focus on 200, and I don't think you should do it like that. I think you should break it down. So I feel like I'm gonna break it down like in my neighborhood and do like maybe 10 a day, because I do have a part-time job, but I'm gonna get in much as I can. So my goal is to do 25 video emails to my sphere and 50 door knocks by the end of the week. No, actually, I said put 100, so I'm gonna break that down. So I'm gonna do my door knocks, 100 of those, and then also I have a 50 cold call, because I have a membership with Mojo Dialer, so I'm committed to do my calls every day till next week, and do at least 5 reels on my Instagram. I'm really bad on that, so I'm committed to just jump in and do it. So my group was very good. We had Ashley and Kelly and Nicole and Nico, and really on fire group that we're going to stay accountable with each other and keep in contact.
Beautiful, beautiful. What's one thing that you heard from one of your team members in that group that you're like, ooh, I like that? What was one thing that you heard from somebody else?
From Nicole was talking about a resource with Chicago Title, with some farming tools with Chicago Title. So it was very powerful. So I'm definitely going to tap in and use that. So I'm just get more information from her to tap in with that.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, listen, we're all here to hold you accountable, not to our numbers, not to my numbers. It is to what is important to you. At the end of the day, accountability comes from internal. You don't need somebody, because oftentimes when we talk about accountability, like, oh, I don't want that person holding me accountable, or it's like a dirty word. At the end of the day, accountability is love. If you told me that you want to hit something for your family, to give yourself money to go and do the things that you want to do, then by all means, I want to support that. I'm not here to give you the number. I'm here to support you on the journey to where you're already heading. So really good stuff, Jamie. Let's go, Cece. You're up next. First and foremost, I want you to declare, and then what did you hear from your group? Let's roll.
Okay, I declare I will be knocking on 50 doors this week and 25 calls minimum, 35 conversations minimum, 5 reels, and then 7 stories minimum
Per day or for the week?
per day, 7 stories
Right.
per
Okay.
day.
Okay.
There's a couple of intensity things in there.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it.
So
Right.
I absolutely love this. I love the amount of video. I love the amount of doors. I love the amount of conversations, because at the end of the day, right now, Cece, how many homes do you want to sell from now until December 31st?
Well, my original goal was 5, so I still have 4 more to go if I stick to that, but I would like to like outdo myself. So if
All
I
right.
could do 6, 7.
All right, cool. So let's say it from our chest, head up, shoulders back, chest out, right? I'm saying this from my chest. So let's do this. Let's say 7. So from now until December 31st, how many conversations do you need to have?
A lot, probably
No, it's
more.
not a lot. There's a number. A lot's not a number. What's the number?
Well, I said 35 a week. You say if I'm sticking with that number?
So 35 is a week, but 35 a week. So if we're doing 35 times 26 weeks, let's say 35 times 25 weeks, that's 875 conversations. So I think that's a little above the target. So let me just do the math for you. If you want to hit 7 homes sold, you would times that by 60. That's 420 conversations that you need to have from now until the end of the year. So your numbers of the 35 every single week, that is an overachiever. And if you are able to effectively have that type of conversations, there is no reason in the world that you are not hitting your 7+ deals for the end of the year. There's no reason. Now, if you're having a problem, if you're having conversations and they're not converting into appointments, well, then we already have all the data. The data is saying that at this point of the conversation, I'm getting stumped and I don't know where to go, or maybe I'm having some closing challenges, then I can help you there. And if you're going on a shit ton of or appointments and they're not converting into people writing offers, well, then what is that communication? But that body of work will give you so much data for you to be able to say what's working and what's not working. So I love that you've amplified the number and be very, very clear on what you need to accomplish every single week. So Cece, great stuff. What did you hear from your group?
We have several people that are new, sort of like myself. So a little bit nervous, but also we're just super encouraging to dive right in and like Chris said, not set the bar low, to keep the bar high, to push ourselves. So I think the accountability for this week is perfect. Like maybe that's what everybody needs. So yeah, I'm excited.
Cece, I love this. And I'll tell you this, you know, I've had my license since 2009. The fear never goes away. The fear never goes away. Well, I do group coaching with you guys 3 times a week, and the fear never goes away, right? How I'm going to start out, the flow, the questions, the answers, the preparation, all the things. Like, I'm always scared, right? But no matter what, I've learned to just look it head on. And the moment that I do that every single time, I become stronger. And so the fear is always there. I've just become more accustomed to walking into the fear. And so it has become easier for me to take on the fear. No longer do I shy away from it. I am not scared of it at all, any way, shape, or form. I know I'm going to face it, and I face it so many times throughout the week, but it's just become a lot easier for me to take it on. And so listen, fight through the fear. We're all scared, right? We're just scared for different reasons at different times and at different levels. And so I appreciate you sharing that, and it really means the world to me. Let's continue cruising on. Hugo, tell me about your goals, specifically what you're going to hit from now until next Friday, and then we'll talk about your group, big dog. Let's roll.
So goal number 1 is I'm going to go back to Leslie mentioned that last Friday you guys did that math equation to break down like how many transactions you want to hit, you know, and then you kind of reverse engineer that with conversations. So I'm going to go back to that recording, watch that, and then set my goal in terms of conversations. But I want to go ahead and post 3 reels, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I'm still a little in the air about how many conversations. I have an idea. I think it's like around 4 or 5. Leslie shared what hers is. She said it's 6. So yeah, that's the goal.
All right, you guys, and really quick, before we go any further, let me just do this as a quick reminder to everybody. I don't care if you've sold 50 homes this year, if you've sold 2 homes, this is the equation. This is very, very simple. You take the amount of homes that you want to sell from now until December 31st, and you times that, you multiply that by 60, because it takes about 60 conversations to have one contract. That is based on National Association of Realtors stats. However, I've amplified that number a little bit. The average is typically about 40 conversations for one contract. I've obviously upped the ante to 60. So you take that 10 contracts times by 60 will give you your number. Now, your 10 might be different. Right? Might be 5, might be 7, might be 20, whatever it is. Then you take that number and you divide it by the amount of weeks that you're going to work from now until December 31st. And then you take that number and divide it by 5 days work, which will tell you your target of conversations that you need every single day. So the messaging is in the data. The numbers will tell you exactly where you need to do what you need to do. And then you just say, okay, now I need to go out there and have behaviors and actions that match that. And means I have to go out there and have the conversations, right? Prospecting in real estate should not be a lost art form. It shouldn't be. This is what we do. We have to prospect daily in order to build our business. And it is hard until it no longer has to be hard. You do this for long enough, consistently enough, then what will happen is that you'll have a referral-based business. People will call you to say, Shah, I need to list my home. Wonderful. You put in the work now in order for it to become easier later. So Hugo, I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you for going deep on that. Let's go over to Ashley. Ashley, tell me about your personal production goals for this next week, and then talk to me about your group. Let's roll.
I just calculated it, and based on your calculation, I need to have 15 appointments a week to hit my goal of 25 for the rest of the year.
And it's 25 for the rest of the year. Is that exceeding what you did last year? Why is 25 the number?
It'll double what I did last year.
Double what you did last year. Okay, cool. And then for you, if you were to think about your pillars of pressure, meaning where you're going to have these conversations, where do they come from?
So one versus many. I like to work smarter, not harder. So social media for sure. And then I'm going to do some events at some festivals that are coming up, and try to get with some networking events. And then I'm going to do some direct, but yeah, specific numbers. I'm going to do 4 events by the end of the year. And then I'm going to do 3 reels this week.
I love it. All right, cool. Tell me about your group.
All right, my group was so helpful. I had the best group. And I have specific numbers. Hold on, let me cut my camera so I don't freeze again. I have numbers for, so Heather's going to knock 50 doors, and she is going to find out some clarity around calls, which our group is going to help her with on the side by next Friday. Nicole's going to do 50 doors, and then no, she's got 2 open houses. She's going to knock 50 houses each day, and then 25 videos a day through BombBomb times 5 days a week. So she's going to be rich with that. That's amazing. Nico's going to knock 60 doors a day, 5 days a week. And then he's going to do 2 things for content. He's going to do a property tour and then another reel for social media. Jamie's 50 houses, 50 emails, 50 cold calls. Kelly's got a whole team doing door knocking. She's going to knock 200 doors and 125 calls. And then Julia is going to do 3 reels and 9 stories a day.
Okay, I absolutely love this, and what a powerful share, really. And so I want to go back up to something you said, Heather. Was there a clarity question around phone calls? I want to make sure that if we can just get it out of the way here. What's the question?
Oh, it's not that. I need to get myself dialed in where I can sit down. I'm going to say, okay, from this time to this time, I'm cold calling, and I have my system set up for that. So that's what I'm going to get going, so I can sit down, everything's dialed in, and I can just start bam, 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 just calling.
So let me understand, what's the system? You said system. What's the system that you need in place?
I just don't typically do it. I have done it before where I've asked for a list from my title company and started calling, but there's just ones that you can pay for, make sure they're not on the do not call list, make sure that you're calling specific people, specific neighborhoods, things like that. I just want to have just something like Jamie has Mojo Dialer that she uses. I just want to find like a cold calling rhythm or system that works for me. So when I sit down, I can just bust out however many or, a specific time frame. And I don't typically do that. And we've had conversations before thing during this week, but I really want to focus on some stuff that I've been having friction with, which is cold calling. So that is something I want to tackle until I don't have friction. It's second nature. It's just something I do.
I love this. And I have a philosophy. It does make sense. I have a philosophy. It doesn't have to be cold. Right? When you call for an open house, when you circle prospect for an open house, that's not cold. When you call people to let them know that the values of their homes just went up because the Andersons sold their house for $50,000 over asking price and there was 10 offers on that property, that's not cold. And so I think oftentimes we think about cold and instantly what happens is psychologically we put up barriers to say, fuck, it's hard. When at the end of the day, if you have a really good flow, if you've practiced that cadence, then I believe that the calls are a little bit warmer. Now, with the dialer and stuff like that, yeah, handle that. But I don't think that that's a reason why you shouldn't just go in the booth at the office, lock yourself in that booth for 1 hour, shut down all distractions, have your coffee, be caffeinated, have your scripts, and just go in there and say, do not disturb me. Do not disturb me. Mom is in the think tank and I'm in here to make some calls. That's it. Like shut the world out. Because what happens is that we get making 5 calls. All right, cool. No one's answering. Oh, shit. Instagram. Oh, my God, that was funny. And then someone else calls and we get doing something else. And you guys want to get some food? I'm going to go get a snack. And then I got some coffee. I go back in the booth. And we're like, what the fuck? You spent 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, you made 10 calls, but you checked Instagram 12 times. It happens all the time. Our ADD brain starts to take over and we squirrel our way through prospecting. We squirrel our way through prospecting. So don't squirrel your way through it. Figure it out and set a target date to say, if the system is what you need to be in place in order for you to feel comfortable making the calls, then set yourself a deadline. By Wednesday, my systems are set in place. And Thursday, I'm making my calls. Now, if you're going to declare it, put it on the calendar to say, I'm going to tackle this by this date, and then go out there and do it. And then control your squirrel brain.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I want to have it planned so I can just sit down, walk in, bust out. And so I will have that done by Wednesday. And by the time I talk to you guys on our next Friday meeting, I will have called at least 100 people. Okay. I promise you that.
Let's go. Let's go. You guys remember this, all right? Like your guys' accountability group, this is super, super important. So the things that I miss or the things I don't remember from everybody, this is your guys' opportunity to hold her accountable because H-Bomb, what is the result of you being able to make that amount of calls in 1 week? First off, how do you think that would make you feel?
I think I'll feel great because like I said, I hate having things that I'm scared of or being trepidatious about things. And I just have to be like, when I get past that, it feels so damn good. And I just feel like when I do door knocking, I knock, I talk. It takes me a while, and I feel like with cold calls, you don't have to leave. You don't have to get dressed. You just sit down with your coffee and bust out. And like Ashley said, it's all a numbers game. Yeah, there's going to be people that are going to hang up on me. There's going to be people that want to talk to me, don't want to talk to me, but it's a numbers game. And that's just going to amplify my numbers and my reach significantly, which in turn is going to amplify my business. So I'm super stoked about it. And I'm excited about not being scared of it anymore. I need to get over it.
I love this. And I love this because now what we're doing is we're building confidence. And the more that we do these things, the more confidence that we have, then the more likelihood we have to do said activity. And so I really love this. So Kelly, you guys are up in there flexing together. Kelly, what's your contribution? What's your thoughts? Let's roll.
Hi, my contribution is that a number is a number and it's a good number. So if you just call all the numbers, then you're good. So that's what I was thinking, is that all numbers are good numbers still.
Okay, so I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. So you're saying that the way that you look at the approach and you're looking at it a positive way, is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, because instead of worrying about like, oh, I need a specific way to do my cold calls, that can kind of mess you up. And if you just look at the numbers like column, then it can be a little bit better.
You know what? I appreciate the simplicity. Listen, you guys, I was 18 and a half, almost 19 years old, and I got a book. And the book had all of the CEOs, CFOs, and top executives at all of the major companies within San Diego County. And so it was my responsibility to call them in 1998 and call them and book an appointment to go pick up their phone bills. And here was my pitch. Hello, hi, Tom. Hey, or the gatekeeper. Hello, hi. Yeah, this is Elias from calling from INET. I need to speak to Cortez. Is he available? Who is this? Oh, it's Elias calling from INET. Why are you calling? Oh, Dale Stein, the president of my company, told me to call Cortez. Is he available? I'm literally calling to speak to the president of the company. And then the president of the company would get on the phone and I would say this, Cortez? Hey, Cortez, it's Elias calling from INET. How you doing? Listen, Dale Stein told me to give you a call about some changes that are happening within the company. What do you mean? Well, we're a technology company, so I'm not too sure if it's about your phone system, your data usage or whatever it is, but he told me to give you a call specifically about changes that are happening within the company. And then naturally the conversation would go into, oh, we're thinking about this. Wonderful. Let's set up a time to meet with you, talk about a few analysis that we've done for other people in the area to see what's best for you and how we can save you guys money that you could potentially put towards future technology. When's a good time for me to stop by? And I was a kid that still had long hair. And all they gave me was a fucking book and it had 3 names on it and it had a phone number and how many employees they had. And you know what I would do is I would go to the employees section and I'd be like, this company has 5,000, 3,000, 2,000. And I always start with the companies that had the biggest amount of employees because I told myself, watch, I'm going to get into Home Depot. I'm going to get into Qualcomm. I'm going to get into these major companies. And then I would tell the sales rep, because I was the inside sales guy. I was, early in my career. I would tell the sales rep, yeah, I just got this appointment at Qualcomm, or I just got this appointment at Home Depot. Like, what? How did you do that? I said, I just called the number that in the book that you guys gave me. Yeah, I just called them and just used that script that you guys gave me. They're like, what? So I agree with that 100%, Kelly. They gave me a book and it was thick. It was like this big. And I would just flip through it and I'd make chicken scratch notes and nobody outbooked me. Nobody outbooked me. That's how I started my sales career. So Kelly, really, really good reminder. Great stuff, you guys. So we're going to go around the room, get a couple key thoughts, key takeaways before we close session today. Sha, one key thought, one key takeaway for from our time together today. Let's roll.
I got super support from our group just because I'm so new. So I mean, honestly, the one thing that I wrote down was that Joanna was talking about things that you can do in your local neighborhood, and she suggested kind of doing a collective like junk haul for your neighborhood, like if people want to do a junk thing or whatever. And I was like, that is such a great idea. Like that literally was like light bulbs that went off. So it was just important. Just being on the calls is just informative. You hear other people's opinions and ideas, and I would have never thought of that. So it was great.
This is why we say power of the collective wisdom. So Sha, I appreciate your thoughts, appreciate your contribution. Let's go, Patrick. Patrick, big dog, one key thought, one key takeaway from our time together today.
Key takeaway is that, everyone seems, and I love it. I feel the energy, everyone's motivated to learn, to live, to go and get their achievement success. So, I'm just filled up with energy. I'm ready to attack the weekend. And let's get the content game up, guys. Let's get it.
That's right, big dog. That's right. Hey, dude, I love that new video that you did with the mayor of San Francisco, or about the mayor. That was really, really good. Good cuts on it, really good footage. Let's go, Ashley. One key thought, one key takeaway.
Action moves results. And because of this call, so many people are going to make so much money. I love these type of calls and the commitments I've heard. And I love the ambition that I heard with these commitments. It's going to, gonna move mountains this week.
You know what? I absolutely love it. I was just looking at this 1 week. You guys just go out there. And then once you saw all the progress that you made, it's just like, well, shit. We'll go and do that again this next week, right? So small bite-sized chunks, you guys. And I want to give you a heads up. This is something I am almost finalized on. I'm just putting together the final tweaks on this. So we're doing a summer series. The summer series will be quite a few different events that we're going to be doing in-house. Most of them will be in Oakland, and then we'll do also some in Stockton. So it's a summer series class. We're going to do database days. We're going to be doing leveraging AI, because obviously that's an ongoing conversation. Disclosures, reports of material, facts breakdown, negotiation skills, another lights, camera, action, appointment setting mastery, farming like a pro, business plan, audit, and calendar audit. You guys, that's going to happen. And the dates starting for this are going to be July 7th, and we're going to go all the way until August 12th. So I'm in the final stages of prepping, planning, preparing, putting this on the calendar, building out all the curriculum. So be on the lookout for this. I want to make sure that you guys are there. I have your guys' contribution. Your guys' attendance is highly, highly encouraged. And I'm going to make sure that we have all the skills that we need to have the confidence to go out there and really, really tackle this business. So I'm looking forward to you guys being in-house, just like we did for the past series. We're going to go full tilt again for another 8 weeks. So I'm excited. Did I say July 16th or June 17th? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about in the, yeah.
You said July 7th. And I think
June 17th will be the first one. Thanks for the correction, you guys. But listen, have a wonderful, wonderful day today. Before we head out, I am going to share this with you because I'm excited. So I'm driving down to Los Angeles again this weekend to go see my little brother, and my littlest brother is in town from Texas, and he's got my nieces and nephews. So your boy rented a minivan. And I go pick that minivan up this afternoon, and I'm going to go and we're going to take the kids down. We're going to stay in Santa Monica. We're going to do the pier. We're going to have everybody pile in the van, and we're just going to go have a cool family weekend. And so remember, who is impacted by the result of your success. You guys have an amazing, amazing weekend. And as always, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and vision, and make this a day that counts. Peace, everybody.